Hey, how's it going everyone? Taysin here, and today I'm going through my top 5 favorite slash best looking consoles. So kicking things off, number 5, and that is the Sega Dreamcast. What I loved about this console is it was so different compared to the previous Sega consoles. I mean, not just the form factor, even the color and stuff. And the way the controller was designed, although it does look quirky and different, it I don't know. There's something about it. It feels like this is something you would use back in the day during like a flight simulator sort of game or some sort of arcade style game. And I love how like the VMU that inserts into it. It reminds me of like a little Tamagotchi or Digimon. And yeah, it's something about that memorable sort of at that time. It felt like it was something very unique and distinguished, especially like with the diamond shape in it too. Number 4, and that is the PS1 Slim. So this was the first time I had actually ever seen a console be slimmed down. So I had the original PS1, and although I really liked it, it did feel bulky at the time. And then when the Slim came out, it was like, wow, I didn't know this was possible, at least as a child. And to see it like in this really small form factor, it feel like quite solid and had this sort of curved and sort of matte feel to it. I absolutely loved it, and I think it's a very convenient console, especially at the time. And I love how you could combine like this little, I think it was like a little LCD screen that sits on top. And if I ever see one of them, I'll definitely pick it up, and even the console too, because I could imagine myself just playing like some of the original PS1 games on a little sort of slim with a little screen and sort of take it with me. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 3 is the Super Nintendo. So this is the European Super Nintendo I'm talking about, which is I believe looks exactly, if not almost identical to the Japanese Super Famicom. So I'm not talking about the NTSC North American one. And what I love so much about this is this was the first time I was seeing a console where you could insert cartridges in the top and actually see the cartridges there. The NES, at least the one I was playing at the time, it was you insert the cartridges in and go down, so you could never see them. And to see the cartridges go in and you could see the label of the game, it was really cool. It's like, yeah, that's the game I'm playing, or and it was sort of like a little trophy there. And I love like the little the logo for the Super Nintendo with the 4 different colors, and then the actual little controller had the 4 different colors for the A, B, X, Y. I thought it was fantastic. It's something that I was drawn to. Number 2, and that is the Nintendo 64. And what I love about the Nintendo 64 is, one, it's a really quirky looking console. They took the Super Nintendo and they sort of made it wider at the front, but then it sort of goes in at the back, and it's odd. Like you've got these sort of the little, what's the word, like the little the legs of the Nintendo 64 at the front, it's sort of these large circles, and then at the back it's different. And then you got the 2 controller ports on one side, and there's like a gap, and then you got the 2 controller ports on the other side. But I love it somehow, like it's, that in that gap they've actually put the Nintendo 64 logo, and then you got this little sort of what's the word, like a little door at the top, and you open it up, and if you've got like an expansion pack there, you see this cool little sort of red panel there. I love that, especially like going over people's houses, opening up and seeing, oh, they've got the expansion pack, and it was something exciting. And the Nintendo 64 then branched out, and there were all these different variations. You had the jungle green, all the different sort of see-through Nintendo 64s. You had the Pokemon Nintendo 64, especially with the Pikachu coming out. I thought it was fantastic. And that controller also, similar to the Dreamcast, as I was saying, it's a very quirky and odd looking controller, and you can either love it or hate it, but I really enjoyed it. Playing wise, I don't find it the my most favourite controller to use, just because you got the joystick in the middle, but then on the sides you got the D-pad, and you sort of can't, you don't really have access to both at the same time. Obviously the GameCube then went and corrected that, and that's what leads me into number 1. So my favourite or best looking console to me is a Nintendo GameCube. And this console, I think, firstly, the handle. I mean, what other consoles has a handle? I love it so much, and I like the whole cube box symmetry, and the name fits perfectly with it, and then you press a button and it opens up like the PS1 Classic, and you put a disc in it, and I just thought this was fantastic, and you can just walk around with your GameCube holding the handle, and then, if you have the Game Boy Advance Play and you pop that on, it just fits perfectly with the design of the GameCube. It just looks like it's still the GameCube, just a bit taller. This really cool extension. I felt like it's a complete package like that. And then Also, so many different color variations. I remember there's the blue, indigo blue, there's a black one, there's a silver one, which I have, and there's also a sort of orange one. I think that was Japan exclusive, I'm not too sure, but I loved it, you know. It wasn't like there was as many different variations as the Nintendo 64, but there was enough that you could, there's a good chance that there's one that you preferred and you could get that one. So yeah, that does it, everyone. That's my 5 favorite looking consoles. Let me know what your favorites are. I mean, it can be anything, from handhelds to different editions of a console, so it doesn't just need to be a color variant, but it could be like one that's unique to a game. We're seeing that a lot now, especially with all the modern HD consoles. You know, we're seeing like a PS4 Uncharted, PS4 Batman, PS4, you know, Xboxes. So yeah, let me know what you enjoy the most. Maybe you have those consoles, maybe you don't. Let me know also, you know, if you're looking out for one of the consoles. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing and subscribing, and until next video, stay spot on.